Well, you started off as one cell, no? And from that one cell you became 2 and 2 became 4 and 4 became 8 and whatever. You know, the permutation combination goes on and on and on and on and on. And that is what you became. But from that one cell, or 2 cells for that matter, or one zygote as we call it, from that you came. In that there are the same type of cells. When they are dividing, they are the same cells, they are just multiplying like this, all the time. They split into 2, you know that, no? I don't want to tell you what is cell division, but when it splits and becomes multiplies in number, how is it that one cell has got the characteristic of an eye, another of nose, another of ears, another of heart, another of liver? Everything changes when it goes to that place. We are doing Bhagavad Gita chapter 11 verse 5. Sri Bhagavan said, Arjuna, behold my manifold multifarious divine form of various colors and shapes in their hundreds and thousands. So Sri Krishna is now going to show Arjuna the various forms that he has. Now, when this is happening, just note the background, everybody is standing ready for war. The whole scenery behind and in front, and these people are bang in the middle, the whole scene right round them, the whole army is standing over there of both Pandavas as well as Kauravas, ready for the battle, the big fight that is going to happen. And these two are right in the middle. I am making this scene clear to you because you need to know where we are at this given moment in time. And Arjuna, who might be just 5 feet 10 inches or something like that, and Sri Krishna is shorter than him. And these two are standing right there, and this whole scene is happening bang in the middle of Kurukshetra. I want you to think, whatever that is going to happen now, do you think it was observed by the people around? No. Nobody has an idea that this is happening over there. Second, nobody has an idea about the time and the space. Because this is a lengthy lesson. It's a lengthy lesson. 700 verses plus are being taught. These 700 verses takes millions of lifetimes to understand. So what are we doing? We are compressing time. We are compressing space. And that space right there in the middle, the little space that is there, is a world by itself. It's a multi-dimensional world right there in the middle. This is totally removed from the battlefield. No longer there. So the battlefield only appears somewhere in the horizon, doesn't even appear. So Sri Krishna is then trying to show Arjuna the multifarious, lots and lots of forms that he has. These are divine forms. They are in hundreds and thousands. So he says, behold in me, Arjuna, the 12 sons of Aditi, the 8 Vasus, the 11 Rudras, that is the god of destruction, the 2 Ashwini Kumars, and the 49 Maruts, and witnessed many more wonderful forms never seen before. Now, I want you to see how this whole thing is written. It is a very, very strange way of writing. Can you count what is written over here? 12 sons of Aditi plus 8 Vasus plus 11 Rudras and plus 2 Ashwini Kumars. How much does this number come up to? Well, and by the way, how many gods do we have? 33 koti, 33 crore gods. These are precursors. 33 precursors. And then he says 49 Maruts, the wind gods. They are different. But the basic criteria is how many gods were born over there have all come from these 33 principal ones. Please know this. These are the principal 33 in number. Your body has got basic 33 elements. Then they are multifarious. After 33 it divides. When I was telling you all that in your mouth, both sides, are the 2 Ashwini Kumars, do you think I was joking? This is the way in which the distribution has happened in you. But human beings do not have this understanding. What gods are we talking about? You see, the moment we say, from Aditi came the 12 sons, that is something which we need to understand. So, our idea about this kind of a knowledge is not there anywhere. We don't have any idea about this. We just keep on dwelling on something. Oh, 33 crore gods are there. Where are they, sir? Understand this essential thing in life. So Sri Krishna is just giving him an understanding of how this, even the Ashwini Kumars, the Rudras, you see, the destructive elements, God of destruction, that is also him. So from that one comes so many. It is just a replication of the one getting replicated into different functionalities. Well, you started off as one cell, no? And from that one cell you became 2 and 2 became 4 and 4 became 8 and whatever. The permutation combination goes on and on and on and on and on. And that is what you became. But from that one cell, or 2 cells for that matter, or one zygote as we call it, from that you came. In that there are the same type of cells. When they are dividing, they are the same cells. They are just multiplying like this, all the time. They split into 2. You know that, no? I don't want to tell you what is cell division. But when it splits and becomes multiplies in number, how is it that one cell has got the characteristic of an eye, another of nose, another of ears, another of heart, another of liver? Everything changes when it goes to that place. Do you get what I am saying? The same cell carries multifarious functionalities in it. So from one came so many. And each one has a different function. The function of the cell in the eye is not the same as the cell in the stomach or the heart. All differ. Their functions are different. Their cell structure, the basic cell structure may look the same. I want you to think about it. even in terms of atoms. You see, atoms we call it, no? Now, if I were to take an atom for hydrogen, and then I take an atom for, say, lithium, or for that matter, copper, a silver, gold, whatever, any other, including uranium, plutonium, and all these things. Does the basic structure differ? No. No, the basic structure is the same. But the moment they fall in a place, the moment the things are falling in place, their functions change. Their characteristics change. Do you see the whole thing? I want you to have a bigger picture in this world. So today, if I want to create a new metal or a new element, I just have to keep on doing fusion, fuse this with that, that with that, that with that, that with that, at very high temperatures and pressures. I think that is a very PV upon T is equal to constant. I think it's a very simple formulation, I actually think that everything boils down to one small thing. That one only. And from the one came multifarious things. I am not going to teach you all science over here, but I am just giving an example. I may not be a scientist for that matter. See, maybe I am a little tougher in that. But understand this. This is how the whole thing works. Now I want you to think. The bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger it becomes, and specific cells or specific atoms come together, they create an entity. So if the thing has become so big that at one point in time it became the oceans. See, the cells, they all these atoms and all got together, they became water, and from water molecules, and then from that became an ocean. Likewise, some of them got together and became land. And the whole thing became earth. And then there is an outer space, and then there are all other elements which have joined together at different locations, and it has become various different stars or planets or exoplanets or whatever you want to call them. I don't even know their names. So think like that. We are just giving an exponential graph over there like this. Someday it has to all come back. Someday it has to collapse back into the atomic structure. So whether it is expansion or contraction, it's the same thing. So even if Krishna is showing Arjuna this thing at one point at that one location, now can you imagine that it is possible for you also? You just got to have that ability to think like that. I have just given you the way of thinking. How does a person think? You can have a grand vision as well. See, I want you to understand this analogy. The analogy is very simply this, that from one you came, the whole body of yours. From that one came the earth. Specific purpose, specific things. Now if you came, that from that one only the ears, from that one the tongue, from that one the hands, the legs, they all got together and became that one specific organ, correct? So my hands have got a different functionality. Same function is not there with my ear or my nose. They are different functions. My heart has different function than my brain. But brain also came from that small thing only, no? So now I want you to think like this. In this world, Where there is a will to create something, when it comes in you and you say, I want to be the brain, can you not be that? When you say to yourself that I want to be a billionaire, you're talking of money. I want to be the scientist greater than Einstein also. You think you can't be? So for all this, what is that one thing required? Devotion. You have to be devoted to what you do. Please understand this. If the cells could create a human being and the atoms could create an earth and this whole solar system, what makes you think that one ideation of yours cannot create a $1 billion organization or the best scientist in the world or the best explorer or the best mountain climber? Who says you can't do it? This is the vastness of that one little thing that you are. Doesn't matter. Just open your heart to it. Devote yourself to that. And that is what he is saying. From that one came so many. The sons of Aditi. Okay? Vasus, Rudras, Ashwini Kumars, Maruts. Witness many more wonderful forms never seen before. Verse 7 says, Arjuna, behold, as concentrated within this body. He is giving you an open hint over here. It is literally like telling Arjuna, I am you. Here he is telling you something very point blank. He says, behold, as concentrated within this body of mine, the entire creation consisting of both the moving and the non-moving beings and whatever else you desire to see. It's such a wonderful verse. We look at ourselves, and we think of ourselves as a puny human being, incapable of doing anything whatsoever. Even if I have to go and get something from the market, there also I have a problem in life. Today, if I tell you certain things, tomorrow the world is going to come to an end. You know what? You are going to be getting scared. What am I going to do? What am I going to do? But what are you going to do tomorrow? Nothing. Do you get what I am saying? Tomorrow the world is going to come to an end. This one day of your life is there. Why not go and do something worthwhile even that one day? But you are worried. What's going to happen tomorrow? What's going to happen tomorrow? World is coming to an end. Full stop. The way in which people look at this, the tomorrow and the problems that they have in the world today, they think of themselves as an insignificant human being. What is this? You don't even trust and believe in your own self. I am incapable. I can't do this. This is not possible. Where are you going to grow in spiritual then? To understand the spirit within you, everything is concentrated within you. Sri Krishna is telling Arjuna, look here, my dear fellow. It's concentrated within this body, like you. The previous chapter he said, I am the Arjuna among the Pandavas. Has he not said this word? So when he says this word, concentrated within this body, so does it not straight away translates into Arjuna concentrated within your body? It's a very simple correlation, isn't it? It's the way of putting it across. So concentrated within this body of mine and concentrated within this body of yours, this entire creation consisting of moving and non-moving things, beings, and whatever else you desire to see. If you desire to see the end of this world also, it can be seen. You desire to see the glory of yours also, you can see. What do you want to see? When you are not devoted and when you are not in love, you can't see anything, believe me. The love and devotion aspect is the only thing required in this world to see it. People are filled with hatred. People are so much full of hatred for each other. You don't like things. You hate things. For what reason? Where is that hatred and anger and upset going to take you? You are going to become a tiny fellow, a small being, useless on earth. But you got to expand yourself into this whole universe, no? So you got to accommodate everything within you, no? And there are certain things like Durvasa Muni and all these people who may be the anger personified, or even all the Daityas, the demons, and their guru also inside of you. Well, what are you talking about? Use your brain. There are negative elements and there are positive elements, and both are inside of you. The whole worlds are inside of you. This is the grandeur of it all. It's such a wonderful thing to actually observe. So, concentrated within this body of mine, the entire creation, consisting of both moving and non-moving beings, and whatever else you desire to see, it's all within. Next verse. Verse 8, chapter 11 from the Bhagavad Gita. But surely you cannot see me with these physical eyes of yours. Therefore I vouchsafe to you the divine eyes. With this you behold my divine power of yoga. Okay. So he says, with these little eyes of yours, you can't see and see me and understand me. So what do you require? You require the vision, not the eyesight. Please understand. There's a difference between vision and eyesight. The grandeur, the glory of this whole thing, you got to observe it. See, when we go to museums and we see some very beautiful painting, we say, wow, this looks so good. And then we go to the next one. Then we say, wow, this is so good. Then we go to the next one. We keep on doing this continuously. We don't even stop and admire something. If I see a rose, I am not even looking at it. I am just seeing it. It's a pink color or a red color rose. And if a thorn hurts me, they say, oh my God, it hurt me. Do you see the beauty in it? Nobody observes it. Nobody watches it with that intent. We just see it because we have to see it. See, our whole idea about life is only when we are dedicated and devoted to a person or a thing, then only we will see it. Otherwise, we won't see. Have you ever noticed a boy and a girl very much in love? I want you to think. There is a boy sitting next to a girl very much in love with that girl, and the girl is in love with that boy. They are looking at each other. They are observing how many eyebrows, how they are shaped, how they are, what is the color of their eyes, how is their mustache, if he is having one. Or, they are looking at it as if, oh, I am observing everything. See, A young boy and a young girl, when they are looking at each other, truly kind of, in love with each other, they observe every blessed thing on earth. I mean, if you have gone out on a date, I'm telling you this is very funny, okay? And if you have gone out on a date, you know what? You go out and 10 years later you are married to the same person, okay? And the girl will ask you, do you remember what dress I was wearing that day? This fellow will look at her and say, no, I don't know. I was wearing that green dress of mine, do you remember? What green dress? Do you remember the color of my eyes? Are they black or are they brown? He is not even sure about it. But the girl remembers everything. She says, do you remember? You spilled that ice cream all over your t-shirt? Did I? See, the whole idea is like this. The devotion and the dedication that you have for this person will make you see the finer things. But today we don't even have the time, and now look at all the husbands and wives of this world, okay? They might have been married for 10 years, 15 years or 20 years. Do you know what is the color of the hair dye that she uses? Does she dye her hair? I didn't know that. Really? Oh, L'Oreal 400 415? Oh, really? I didn't know that. How do you know? You are a... So the idea is this. You don't even pay attention. She will say, my those grey color shoes that I had, they are not, they're hurting me over here. I want to go out and... You have a grey color shoes? He will ask her like that. The idea is he has got 5 sets of shirts and 5 sets of pants, and he just does permutation combination. And if he opens his wife's wardrobe, there are hundreds of things he doesn't even know which one she has worn and which one she has not. This is what we have come to today. The reason is because we are not even dedicated and devoted to anything. I'm just giving you a very stupid example to understand this. So why is it so? You will understand if you are devoted to it. You will understand the finer nuances of life if you are actually devoted and dedicated to that thing. You have to be in love at all points in time. Whether it's your job, whether it's a person, whether it is anything, anything. There is a very funny joke. One man goes to the police station and he says, my wife has disappeared. She went yesterday. She's not come back. He says, yeah. How does she look like? Oh, I think she's above 5 feet, maybe 5'8", 5'9", I don't remember. Says, what is the color of her eyes? I don't know whether it is brown or green or black, something like that. Then he asks her various questions, What is the color of her hair? Oh, last month she was blonde. Now she must be something else. Why? Oh, she keeps on changing color. Then he asks her what dress was she wearing, what clothes was she wearing. I don't remember. All these questions he gives such vague answers. And then he asks him the question, how did she go? Oh, she drove this car which has got this much pistons, this much this much that, and he describes everything about the car. Okay? It's got a grey color. By the way, my car has a small scratch in front, That also he remembers. A small scratch on his car he remembers. And the policeman looks at him and says, Yeah, we'll find your car. See the funny part of this joke? This man observes his car better than his wife. We have come to this point in life. That is why devotion is important, love is important. When you are in love with Krishna, you can understand everything about him. And that is why you may not require those eyes, the vision. So he says, okay, I'll have to give you the vision. Do you know when people say our earth is 5.6 billion years old, plus and minus a little bit here and there, how do they know that is so and so? Well, we are not even sure. But then the scientists are very perfect about it. And they say, okay, this is how it is. We were not even sure because from Earth we could not have seen to the fringes of this solar system also. So they sent one satellite in space, a telescope. And from that telescope we are able to see further up in space. So we are able to do better calculations. Do you understand what I am talking? You need that eye in the sky. You see, if the telescope is not there, you can't see further. So it is like having an eye in the sky. So Krishna is telling Arjuna, I will give you that sight. So you can understand me, so you can see me, and you can behold my divine powers. So we will stop over here. We have come till verse 8.